Hello everybody, this is Zaxter99. Today we got a brand new game that just launched earlier today on Steam. Just a few hours ago actually, Streets of Chaos. I've already played this game a full time through, figured out how the game works because I've never really played a game like this. The game's only $2.99 as a regular price. Is it worth it though? Hopefully you'll be able to determine that in this video. My first gripe about the game, even though a minor one, is that the game actually doesn't have any kind of a full screen option here. You pretty much are limited to, like, it looks like about a 1280 by 720 window size here. And then here is basically you do have a high score. You can load or save a game here. And then here's where we go and we start. You can choose 5 different choices on how long of a game you want to play, how hard of a game you want to play, based on how much influence you want to get to win. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a short game here, just because my first game I played lasted about an hour, hour and a half, somewhere in there. And you can choose whatever name you want. Here I chose Mr. Whoever. Let's go ahead and choose Mr. Z here and make that a little bit easier. And then you have your basic what has happened. It's an apocalypse. You're trying to take over and run a gang to take control of the city is basically what it's saying. And you have an arch nemesis. It'll give you a random name every time down at the bottom. Mr. Benio Stanley is going to be my arch nemesis, and that's pretty much it. You can pause this and read this if you want. Alright, so when you start this game, this is what you're going to be looking at. This is a screen you're going to be looking at for the whole game. There's really no action here. There's no arcade goodness. There's no, fancy graphics or anything like that. It's pretty much just a numbers game and strategy all the way. So what you see up here is the name you chose, the day one it is, and the month and the year. So that's basically your turn, what turn you're on. It's a turn-based game. You make decisions every turn, and based on those decisions, actions come about. Based on the decisions you choose, and you see an outcome. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and look at the most important thing you want to look at in this game is right up here in the upper right hand corner. This is your headquarters here. Always starts with a 40 rating, and if it ever gets knocked down to 0 before you win the game, then you lose. Okay, so try to protect this number. Next number down here is the influence score that you chose. When you chose that game between 30, 40, 50 was the default, 60 or 70 on the influence. Well, that's what your goal is going to be, to try to win the game. Obviously, when you choose a higher influence, it's going to take you longer to get there before you win. But once you get to whatever number you chose as your goal, you win the game. Start off with 0. Pretty simple. So you want to try to get your influence to this number here to win the game before this gets knocked down to 0. Okay? Alright, so you're asking, well, how do I get this influence here so I win the game? Well, to do that, you're going to be taking over streets in the city. Now, your first number on these streets is the number of influence points you would get if you were successful in taking that street over. So that's what you want, and you can always hover the cursor over any of these things to see what those numbers do. So here I see that, okay, 4 is the influence value of the street if I take it over. 11 is the resistance of the street. That's basically how hard is the street to take over. Usually a higher number like this is going to take several turns to take that over. And then this is the income I would get once I own the street. Okay? So you're going to have to take over several of these streets to actually get the 30 points, especially if you're like, choosing a default 50 points or 60 points or 70 points. You're going to have to take over a lot of these streets to get the your goal number of influence points to win. So it's obviously going to be more challenging by picking a higher influence, and it will take longer as well. Alright, so now let's go ahead and work back our way counterclockwise. To do that, though, let's go ahead and stop and show you that this game tips is going to show you tips, kind of tips on how to win, how to play. You can read that, if you choose. You can either pause it and read it if you want to, or you can read that when you buy the game, if you buy the game. Here is also just kind of a quick help telling you, your main screen and stuff like that. Pretty simple stuff there. All right. This here is numbers. These are important because this is kind of like your resources. Imagine these as like, in like Age of Empires strategy games or whatever. This is your wood, stone, and food or whatever. It's resources that you use to actually buy things and get things done. Okay. You also, cash is important as well. Here it shows you your income coming in on a turn and your expenses as you go about the game per turn. Okay, right now it's 0 and 0 because I haven't started yet. Okay, down here, this is going to be where you manage your gang, all your guys that you end up hiring that are working for you. Based on their skill set, what they're good at, you might want to have them doing different tasks, hopefully doing something that they're good at. Okay, you'll see kind of how that works. Next thing here is exchange resources. So, if my headquarters number was running low here, or if I didn't have much money, I might want to come here and exchange some resources to get something I need. So I make a call. If I need some more cash, if I have these resources, I can buy 500 cash. If I have 5 of each one, I can get 1,000 cash. If I want to get another recruit to actually hire on any given turn, I can spend these resources and actually have another recruit to hire if I want to. If I spend the number of resources, I can actually give a random member of my gang +1 to all his stats. That might be interesting. And then if I start getting low on the headquarter points, I want to buy 3 more because I'm getting desperate. I might want to spend these resources to do that. Or I could even bribe the cops for 7 turns by spending this number of resources. And again, if you kind of hover your cursor over everything, you'll kind of see what it does. Okay? So it gives you what your resources are at the top here, so you can kind of see those, so you know what you have. Okay, so whenever you're done, if you haven't bought anything, you just hit done and you go back. And the next 2 are basically for when you get your guys out here doing to make money. Your guys that you hire are going to be doing criminal acts, whether it be going around the streets and breaking into, grocery stores and stealing money, or doing like cyber crimes to try to get money from stealing money from banks or whatever, or maybe they're just out on the streets knocking old grandparents and grandmas in the head and stealing their purse to get your money. Whatever they're doing, they have a risk of getting caught by the cops. Okay, and when they get caught by the cops, they go to court. And when they go to court, it could end up either costing you a fine, or they could end up going to prison for life. Now, if you have a guy over here with good stats and he's a good gang member, you don't want to see him going to prison for life, because you essentially lose him for the entire game. Not only do you lose a good character, but you also lose all your, your costs that you paid him to work for you. So you definitely don't want to see him get busted by the cops and go to prison for life. Well, hiring an attorney can help you out with that. So you come here and you're going to have 3 random attorneys that you can hire. Okay, so it's going to give you random names and kind of random stats here and costs for each one. Now, when you hire them, it looks like you hire them for 2 years. Down here it says lawyer wish to hire, contracts last 3 years, but if you put your mouse cursor over these, it says to hire this lawyer for 2 years. 2 years, 2 years. So I think that this is probably wrong and this should be made to a 2. Okay? So what you're looking for here is, again, these numbers are, I think, 1 to 20. So you want to look for high numbers on all 3 of these scores. First one is basically your lawyer's ability to do his job, his legal ability. Okay, so that's probably pretty important, to be a lawyer. This guy sucks as a lawyer, evidently. A 1, that's pretty pathetic. This guy, it says this is one of the most important stats for your lawyer, and this is kind of who he knows, and you kind of see that as a picture of people. So his inside, they say that, who is a lot of power, and I guess that's really true here for attorneys. So, this is probably going to be a lot better stat than these 3s, because these guys don't have a lot of inside, who they know ability. And then this last stat here is the cheesy yellow smiley face. That's kind of your lawyer's ability to charm the judge and get the judge to see things his way, or sway the judge his way, for trying to protect your punks that you're hiring. So pretty high important number there as well, I think. So you're just trying to match up the values of these numbers and see, okay, well, which lawyer do I want versus the cost, and hire one if you want to do that. Okay. Now, I'm not going to hire anybody yet because I haven't even hired my first guy. Now, as I get more and more guys, and I have 6 or 8 guys working for me, all taking a chance each turn doing their criminal acts, well, they have a higher chance of getting busted, 1 or 2 of them. Then it's going to be more important for me to have an attorney working for me than right now at the start. Not only that, but I don't have a lot of extra money right now anyway. I need to get some guys kind of stealing some money and doing some bad deeds out there for me and give me some income coming in. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of want to show you how the game works. Now the next one here is your ability to manage the judges. When you click on this, you could see that any of these guys, if any of your guys ever get busted by the cops, they're going to go before court and see one of these judges, it seems like randomly. Okay, so here you can see the first stat is the judge's ability to actually see through the distractions and the lawyer's charm ability. So you want this number low, because if the judge has a high number here, they're going to be able to see through your lawyer's ability, his big yellow stat here, his charm ability. So the number here, high, I believe is good. because this is the lawyer's basically leniency, the chance that a judge may go easy on members during a trial. So I believe when this number is high, they're more lenient. So if this number is low, I think they're more of a hard ass and more of a prick and going to be more likely to send your guys to prison for life rather than just swat them on the hand and give them a fine. So if this guy's a real prick, like I've seen like numbers like 4 and 5 here, and it seems like they're always sending my guys to prison rather than just giving them a fine or letting them free or whatever, and that means they're kind of more of a prick when this number's low, well, you have an option to always go ahead and try to have that judge assassinated. It costs you $100, and you might be able to assassinate that judge. Keep in mind that another judge with more random stats comes in. It could be better or worse than the judge you had assassinated. You never know. You're taking a chance. But another thing when you take a chance on the assassination is whether you succeed or not at assassinating that judge, you could leave clues, or the police could find clues to actually lead back to you that you actually have that judge assassinated. And if so, your headquarters number is going to take a hit. So it's kind of a gamble there. And then you also have the ability to try to bribe a judge. Here, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of, negative chance here. It's just losing money on, trying to bribe that judge to see things your way. Okay? So, important thing there as well. And then the only other options here for this game are game options. And here you can come in here and turn the sound off or on. And I'll go ahead and leave the sound on. Here I can save the game at any point and continue at a later point. And then I can exit to Windows right there. We're going to go ahead and try to start this game off with the first couple of turns, kind of show you how this works. And I'm going to have to continue this. I'm going to have to break this up into 15-minute segments, though. So real quick here, I want to go ahead and end this first video because we're getting close to the 15-minute mark, and unfortunately I'm limited to 15-minute videos right now because of a copyright infringement that was ridiculous. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. You can look through my videos and find that one. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and hire somebody, get somebody doing something for me. Well, it's going to throw me one of these guys every single turn. Only one that I can hire every turn unless I want to go back in here and pay all those resources to have a second one, I think. I've never done that, so I have a guy here. This is his attack and this is his defense. These numbers are going to come in good, I think, when you have these guys trying to protect your headquarters, because there can be enemy gangs that come in and try to attack your headquarters, and if you don't have any guys protecting it, your headquarters could take a bigger hit, I believe, to this number. So pretty important to have guys protecting your headquarters as well. You look over his stats, again, rated 1 to 20. I think the highest number I've ever seen is a 19 here. Domination is good. That means he's going to be, again, hover your cursor over it to see what it means. Taking over the streets is what domination is, so his ability to take over these streets. That's good. The bad thing I don't like about this guy is his stealth is really low, so it means he's going to have a higher chance of getting busted by the cops. This is his cost to actually hire this guy. Not only $325 to buy him, but also 3 blood, 3 corruption to buy him, and he's going to have a per turn expense cost as well. That's not real high. This is your main cost to get this guy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get him mainly because I like the 9 attack here. I'm going to go ahead and buy this guy. And for right now, I'm going to go ahead and go in here. Anytime you buy a guy, he's going to go in here and he's going to be laying low, which basically means he's not doing a damn thing. He has a less chance of getting busted by the cops laying low, but he's really not doing anything for you. So I want to go ahead and have him at least look out for my headquarters and guard my headquarters for right now. So you can assign him to do anything. You can always change this at any time that you want to on any given turn. So I'm going to have him going ahead and watch my headquarters right now. I'm going to hit done. Don't have anything else to do, so I'm going to go ahead and end this turn. Now the next turn comes up. Anytime you end the turn, things can happen. Like cops can get you, or if you have any guys out here in the streets, or your guys have guys trying to make money by stealing and robbing people or whatever. It'll tell you the results of that after you end your turn and let you know what happened. So nothing happened because I have nobody doing anything. So no cops got me or anything like that. So really nothing happened when I ended the turn. So I come right back up here. I have another decision to make with another guy. Now that I've explained how the game works, we're going to get into the game in video number 2, video part 2. I want to go ahead and have you guys leave comments. Let me know what you think of this game. Has this video helped influence you on buying this game or not buying this game? Let me know down in the comments below. Also give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, please. Rate my videos. It's pretty important for me to know what you guys think of my videos, so please do that. It just takes a second with a thumbs up or thumbs down below the video here. This is Zaxter99. We'll see you in part 2 of this video series. Thanks for watching.